Like, and we thought we were creative by using proxy servers in school to get around the firewall. Nah, these
Right.
kids, nah.
That's hilarious.
These kids hack the parental control password and change it so that their parents
Oh
can't go in and
wow.
change it again. Like, yeah, well, their parents don't know how to set it up in the first. I thought that was the funniest. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was a skit, but they don't make the skit unless there's some truth to it. So the parents are trying to set it up, and they ask their kid how to set up the parental controls. It's
That's
kind
so
of like
funny.
you made it this. This might have been the early 2000s. I think it was the late 90s though. They made an animated series. Are you familiar with the comic strip Baby Blues?
Maybe, oh, why does that sound so familiar? Because I was very, very into comic strips. So
Yeah,
like I was a big fan of, Calvin and Hobbes?
yeah,
Ah, fire. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Baby Blues. I'm trying to remember who was in it, but I remember that that was one of the syndicated strips that used to appear in my local newspaper.
Yes, and that doesn't
Um,
surprise me. But they did.
oh, I remember with a dad who had like kind of like a big nose and
Yeah,
like his hair was lines. I remember. I remember.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there were actually two seasons, but only one aired, and I actually have because of how do we say this? You know, the people that sell the seven seas and plunder and pillage, that kind of stuff. So I actually have
Pirates. Okay.
I
Oh,
have both seasons, including the second season,
okay.
which never aired.
Right.
There's a line in the first season where uh the Daryl's his name. Daryl is talking to his neighbor, and his neighbor asks his young daughter, "What's the combination of my gun safe?"
Megan, what's the combination for my gun cabinet?
3749.
Right, right.
That's really funny.
It's
That's
still
fucking
makes me laugh.
funny.
That show should have done a lot better, but yeah, it should have
That
been
came
better.
up, but you see, you know what though? Because there was a lot of shows that were trying to latch onto the success that South Park and Family Guy were having at that time.
I think this was
Because
prior. That's what I'm saying. I think this was late 90s because
I
this
think
was
it came
it came
late,
too early
maybe it was
because
late
if
'90s.
it
It
had
might have
to
been
have
in the
because
same.
it was before Family Guy, and I
I
believe it was before. If it wasn't before South Park, it was right at the same time because South Park
I
premiered in
think
'97.
that was at the same era as. Do you remember Duckman?
Mm-mm.
Duckman? No. Oh, that was a Klasky Ksupo show.
Yeah, but that
You
was
know,
Nickelodeon.
yes, right, but it was the Klasky Ksupo before Nickelodeon, and it
Oh,
was an
okay.
adult show. Yeah, it was an
Ah,
adult show. It was on after like 10 o'clock or 10:30, and it was
see,
about
this
this
was
duck
yeah.
that's like divorced, and he has like a drinking problem, and like it was a really good show. It was a really good show.
I can tell you already it was before its time because that Baby Blues was trying to be family sitcom but animated.
Sure,
And so
sure,
like unlike Family Guy, which has to be animated for the kind of stories and gags they do, Baby Blues
right.
was literally like it could have been shot live action, but obviously the characters are based on a comic strip, so they wanted to
Right.
it
They
could
wanted to
have
do it
been
animated.
it could have been shot with the standard like 3-4 camera setup with live action. And uh yeah, it was really good. Michael Malley voiced Daryl, and so
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
No way.
it was good shit. It was